Here we go then. Marco De Bruno leads away from pole position, but it's a great start from Michi Hoy, who jumps Fabio Grigoletto for second position, and Simoncic is having a go at Grigoletto too as they go uphill into turn one. Big lockups from all of the cars at the front there. Michi Hoy almost gets crowded off track then, but De Bruno has held the lead. Grigoletto holds third, and David Levy has had a bad start. He's dropped behind Jules Neal now, and now he's at the mercy of Aurelian Bru and Daniele Farinelli in those two dark blue Cadillacs. But for Marco De Bruno, this has been an absolutely sublime start. He's streaking away, and Michi Hoyer is still fighting away with Grigoletto. Then, as we look here, it's Michel Rodriguez who's gotten up to second. What's happened to Prendergast? He's down into fifth position, as there's Julian Guerin, who's not gone away well at all. He's right in front of the Judy Freeze there in his hypercar, and Prendergast lost out at the start there big time. And Grigoletto's past Hoyer again.
He is, so Grigoletto back up to second place, and there you see them going down the straight. Hoyer gets a switchback maneuver and goes for second. As for the GT3s, I was watching them into turn one. Prendergast was going for a big dive, and Rodriguez has just passed Cripps for second. Prendergast went for a big dive on Wunsch, and it looked as if they were all going to get caught up with the back of the hypercar class. I reckon there was contact between the leaders in the GT3 category. Now we're looking at Rodriguez and Wunsch, and Rodriguez takes the lead up the inside, and he will just about lead the GT3 category, but if Wunsch can stick himself on the outside, he might still be able to regain this. This is great racing in the GT3 category, and Seb Wunsch, well, he'll now have the outside, but he does regain the lead. Great racing here.
Callum Cripps has got to defend into the first corner from Prendergast. Prendergast shows his nose, makes his intentions very clear. He's going to try and get back into third position, and very, very wide goes Callum Cripps. I almost felt like he knew it wasn't worth fighting his fellow McLaren there.
And I think they're side by side for second here. Rodriguez and Prendergast showing up less than half a tenth of a second apart as they go down the straight. Prendergast on the outside line. I tell you what, he's had such a good recovery drive here after his incident on the first lap. He was fired up after his potential contact, and that's for the lead up the inside, and he backs out of it. I tell you what, that was almost a replay of what happened on the very first lap. The only difference is that they were at a different part of the course and they weren't being surrounded by hypercars. So that was good stuff there to avoid an incident. Prendergast to the inside, and does he see him? It looks as if he might have got it. Slightly wide over the curb goes Wunsch, but then again I think they both ran over the line. Oh, but he backed off. He backed off to let him back through. He did not want to pass him by going off the road, because then he would have got a penalty. So Prendergast leads the race. This is the fight for fifth position. To the inside goes Levy, and will get through. And unfortunately for him, Jules Neal was able to leverage his position and get back up the inside.
Was trying to keep with him in the first couple of laps. As all we see David Levy diving up the inside at turn 11. Jules Neal leaves the door open, tries to get the exit that he needs, but has to let the Porsche slot in front of him.
I can't see it being too different here, and Cripps is up to second there. He's got past Rodriguez. Rodriguez coming back at him on the exit.
That's third they're fighting for.
Yes, third in class, sorry, I saw that Wunsch was second. But yeah, Rodriguez back ahead of Cripps, gets him back again. We've got two number 59 McLarens ahead of a similarly liveried number 72. Up the inside goes Cripps once again, going for the move, and that looks to be a bit more successful. Now we're watching the battle for third in Hypercar, and this is very important because these two are championship contenders as well as close friends and teammates. This is Simoncic versus Hoyer, and it's Hoyer who gets ahead for the time being. David Levy trying to get involved in the Porsche. Aurelian Bru was into the pits.
Aurelian Bru's hit trouble, but side by side go the two McLarens, the two 59s, and who is it that's going to get the inside hits? Rodriguez on the inside then. Into turn 12, Callum Cripps tries to hang it out around the outside. There's Regan Mitchell just behind them as well. Cripps now back up the inside into 13, muscles his way out, almost forces Rodriguez off track, and now Mitchell is going to have a go at the Swede in front of him. So Michel Rodriguez in a sandwich with the two British drivers, getting very, very physical as he tries to go all around the outside at 15. Rodriguez flashes his lights at Mitchell. Mitchell is surely going to have to give up that position because he went off track to do that overtake.
Yeah, and there was definitely contact there as well. I was very glad that Cripps didn't end up spinning around, because that could have involved all three of them. So good driving to avoid ending up in a massive pile of carbon fibre and rubbish. Now a little look up the inside. Rodriguez into the pits comes Vermack. That'll be to serve his penalty. And on the exit, I think Rodriguez has got that, so through he goes. I think that should save Mitchell from a penalty. Big clump of them. And it looks like Rodriguez has gone for a dive on Cripps, and Cripps will go back through on the inside, and Rodriguez will lose out half a second or so.
David Levy is having an attack on Jerne Simoncic. He's going up the inside then, down the back straight here, Caitlin. And is Levy going to be able to brake late enough to put one over on Jerne Simoncic? There we go. Simoncic gets off the throttle and almost lets Levy through there. So was that tactical, or is Jerne genuinely struggling here?
Hoyer and Levy, who goes for a move. He goes to the inside and makes it. Oh, little bit of contact, little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. He'll be on the outside of the corner now. There was a yellow flag there. I don't know if that was a little bit premature because these two have kept it clean for now.
Oh, my goodness.
Massive twitch from Levy and a really good save. He's going to have to run off the road. He'll have to give up the place.
Something has happened there on track. I think Grigoletto has fallen off the page, and that's because he's disappeared completely. I think Grigoletto might be in trouble here. And in towards 10-11 they go. Rodriguez is tucked right in. He's going to pull to the outside. He's got the lights on full blast here and has to go a little bit wide before tucking back underneath Callum Cripps as they go side by side down the back straight there, and that was well planned and executed from Rodriguez up to third for the time being, but Cripps is still going to be there. He's got good straight line speed as they go towards 10-12.
Yeah, Rodriguez with more lights on as well is another way you can tell them apart, but only for now, because that could easily change. Cripps coming back to the inside now. That's late. They rub doors. They've done that several times in this race already, and Cripps does go through on the inside. Here comes round the outside Mitchell, so Regan Mitchell getting involved as well. Cripps is off. Yes, Cripps.
Cam Cripps has had a big moment then while trying to defend that third position, and he's dropped a little bit down the order then behind Rodriguez and Mitchell.
Showing themselves to the wing mirrors of the car in front. Liskovic and Thingard are side by side down the straight. Now these two have been fighting for a little while. No Hypercars in sight as we look at them. Liskovic has the BMW. Thingard... Sorry, wrong way around. Liskovic has the Ferrari, and Thingard has the BMW with the bright white front and the headlights making it look even brighter. He runs wide. Liskovic will get that one.
It finishes like this. As he goes to go round the outside of Marcus Crawford there. That was a very, very split-second decision, and Simoncic has to go offline as well. So now we're seeing Prendergast from the GT3 lead, and that's a splash and dash. He had to do that.
And I thought I saw Rodriguez coming in. I did. So Rodriguez is into the pits as well. Julian Guerin pits in the Hypercar field.
Seb Bunch now pits from the GT3 lead. So that's going to hand it back to Prendergast.
Because you see he's on 1%. That's Levy on 1%, sorry. Simoncic, I think, topped it up in the pits because he was on 7% before.
They've not pitted. They're not pitted, Caitlin.
Oh, you're right. My apologies.
Levy pits now. There we go. He knew he was going to get disqualified if he didn't, so he's got to top up virtual energy, and that potentially has cost David Levy a podium there. As now we see, where's Levy going to come out? He's going to come out behind Farinelli and Brew.
And here is Liskovic on Cripps. Liskovic, I don't think he's pitted, has he? And if he has, I haven't seen it. And they bump wheels there, and... well, he has
They all the GT3s are pit, with 52 seconds left in the race. Liskovic alongside then as they go uphill towards the first corner. Cripps, leaves it very, very wide, trying to cut back underneath there, but he almost comes upon the Ferrari at the apex, so that's going to limit his run then. It's Liskovic that's got the inside. Callum Cripps still trying to hold on round the outside in this fight for fifth in class, and it's Liskovic from the back grid looking battered, bruised, but he's through into fifth. Now it's Marco De Bueno's turn. One more corner to go. He flashes his lights in jubilation. It's going to be a first win of the season for the Italian. Marco De Buono wins at Circuit of the Americas, but it's Michi Hoy who's going to hold on to second, and that means he takes the full $60 for winning the Sprint Cup from Jerne Simoncic.
And for the second time, and the second time in succession in the VMS Pro Series, Kieran Prendergast is going to win GT3, and he flashes the lights as he comes up to the line, and so he should be happy with himself because that was a very good drive. Prendergast wins, followed by Wunsch and Rodriguez. There you see the GT3 order. It's Regan Mitchell in 4th place, Erwin Liskovic in 5th. Great recovery drive from Liskovic, actually, who was right at the back and a long way back on that first lap. Callum Cripps was 6th, unfortunately had an off when he was fighting for 3rd. He could have done a lot better in this race, but dropped off towards the end. Luca Thingard, Marcus Crawford and Zach Vermack, the 3 BMWs at the back. And Thingard was asking questions over the BOP that the BMW has, which, to be honest, tells you that it's realistic, because in real life the drivers are always questioning the same thing.
And here are the Hypercar results then. Marco De Buono, a fabulous victory. It was only 3 seconds in the end, but he built up enough of a margin that he could save fuel at the end and take, in the end, a very, very strong victory after 32 laps of racing there. A great sprint race for Marco De Buono and a red letter day for the man in the red and yellow Ferrari. Michi Hoyer, with the runners-up spot, takes the Sprint Cup with Jene Simicic just behind, missing out by 3/10 in the end. Close battle between the duo. Aurelian Brew recovers up to 4th after that early pit stop and beats Jules Neal in the end, who finishes 5th. Daniele Farinelli was 6th, ultimately just losing out a little bit in the closing stages. David Levy, with that late stop, was about to run out of virtual energy, had to give up 3rd position, which was a huge shame for the Spaniard, but he still gets it home in 7th ahead of Julien Guerin. And then Fabio Grigoletto, the least lucky of all with that disconnection. What could he have done had that not happened? Who knows how close he might have gotten to De Buono at the end of that one. But nonetheless, he still gets $15 from finishing 3rd in the Sprint Cup.